In this video, we're going to show you 3 bursitis stretches for the hip. My name's Sebastian and this is Mandy.
Hi.
She's going to help us out with some of the demonstration today. We're going to get into the exercises or stretches very quickly here. First, we should identify what hip bursitis we're talking about because there's a few of them. And if this is more catered to you and what you have, then you should stick around for the entire video. So the bursitis we're talking about is just on the side of our body here. Okay. This is called the trochanteric bursitis. Okay. So this is the trochanter of the bone. There's a bone there. It's called the trochanter. And there's a bursa there. It's a normally occurring substance. It's like a water weenie.
Yep.
Muscles go over it and it creates a friction system. So a lot of times people will have problems into that region. It typically won't spread downward or spread upward. If it does, then you may have some type of movement compensation from it occurring, and then we just need to make sure that we're settling that in a different way. So you may need something more customized in these 3 exercises. If you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel and make sure that you give us a thumbs up. Let's do the first one. Is going to be a pigeon stretch. Can I let you be the model?
Sure.
Okay. So slide this way for me. We're going to put you right in center stage. All right, right there. And slide this way to the wall, just a tad. Okay, just for camera view for you guys. Now, the first thing we're going to attempt to do with Mandy is to stretch some of the muscles that go over the bursa in the trochanteric region. And so it's going to be the glute muscles in this case, right?
Yep.
And so she's pointing at the glute muscles. So show me a pigeon stretch the best that you can. All right, so she's just kind of sitting into this thing. Do you feel any hip pinching in the front when you do this?
Nope.
Good. Now, if she did, this is maybe she needs to change it slightly, okay? There's also different slots she can do. So come on back up. Bring your knee so it's right here, and you're slightly more facing the camera. Here we go. And so do that same slot that you just did. So she's kind of doing chest over knee. But for some people, this doesn't work, especially if they have arthritis in the hip and so on. So now, can you bring your hands here? There we go. Or she can bring her hands further. Okay, good. Now go ahead and do it again one more time. Give me those 3 slots, but let's face the camera more so they have another angle. And then slide towards, there we go.
Good.
We should have a bigger room, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So we'll be in the front here. We can also go a little bit more to the side towards your front foot, and then even more. And you should feel this in different parts of your glutes. So it'll move up or down depending on where you are.
Yeah. Now she's rounding her back here. She doesn't have any back pain, so that's okay to do. It's okay to round your back. But ideally, we're using the movement to drive some stretch into the glutes. I'd hold it for maybe about 5 to 10 seconds or so. Breathe deep into it. Take a break for about 5 to 10 seconds and then repeat. I'd spend under 5 minutes doing it. You can do both sides if you want, but if you only have a symptom on one side, then probably one side. The next one we're going to do is we decide we're going to stretch the other muscles over the top, which is the TFL, right?
Yeah.
In the IT band.
Yeah, so a lot of people will talk about TFL tightness, IT band, that's all kind of in the side of your hip. So I'll have Seb be the model. Go ahead on your back. Can you go ahead and grab that knee, this front knee for you, and let this fall? Can you hug that to your opposite shoulder? Yep.
This way, yep.
Yep, so we should be stretching all of this. Where do you feel it?
I feel it kind of like into here a little bit.
Okay.
And a little bit into here.
Okay. So with that, we can play with the angle on this too, especially if we get pinchy in the front of the hip. You can bring it to your same shoulder, bring it to your opposite shoulder, bring it to the side.
Yeah, I feel like if I go a little bit more across my body, I get a little bit more here. Versus here, I feel like it's a little bit more down into the region that Pigeon did a little bit.
Great, yeah. So this can also be another option for pigeon stretch if for whatever reason that didn't work for you. That's more towards the opposite shoulder, whereas more into the TFL area is more towards the side.
How deeply do I want to stretch it? Like if I feel like do I need to really crank on it a lot or just like lightly?
Should be a medium stretch, so I don't want you to feel like your muscle's about to tear off, but it should be a little bit uncomfortable.
Also, another version that starts to work for some people, if they don't feel the stretch, is they can stretch part of their upper body, like away. This all stays stationary, and they lean away, and they do the stretch like that.
Yep.
Okay, so it's just a different version. I like to do that version personally. We're going to end on the clamshell exercise, and Mandy's going to be the model for this. I want you guys to be aware that if you've tried clamshell before and you're like, another clamshell, I feel like I've seen this so many times, it doesn't ever work. Right, it's because people are doing clamshell poorly or they're being shown poorly. So I'm going to show you how to do it today where it actually will probably work for you, and you'll probably feel this is the hardest clamshell that you've ever done. Andy has sensitive knees, so we're going to use this mat, and then go ahead and set up for the clamshell however you see fit. And then slide back just a little bit for everybody. Your butt's almost going to be on the, there we go. Perfect. All right, so show me the clamshell. Good. Now, scale of 1 to 10, 10's really hard. How hard does this feel?
A 1.
Okay. So first off, we see that with Mandy, she's losing composure a little bit here first too. I'm not going to say that we can't make the exercise harder overall for her, but first thing is if she goes like this and she sticks her belly out, then there's no point in progressing this further because she's going to keep overloading the tissues that cross over the bursa. And so she needs to keep pressure. There you go. There, and then see how far you can hit my hand. Good. This should stop some of the exercise and tension from going to the low back when we really want it to be more in the hip. Now we're going to change this just slightly, and let's reframe what a clamshell actually is, and let's just change the effort to the one that's the downside. Okay, pressure, roll into my hand a little bit, pause, hold my hand down at all cost, and do your clamshell.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Feeling the bottom glute more than the top glute.
Right. So let's do it until we're going to do it until Mandy says, "Mayday, mayday! I'm going down." Okay.
Say about there.
Okay. So it only took her under 10 clamshells to feel effort. Okay. Ideally, doing this version of a clamshell, it's the same movement, but different intention. Is that actually if she rocks and puts more weight into here, she'll actually stabilize her core more and her pelvis more so she can get better movement out of this hip. But also, this simulates closed chain movement like running more than this would. Usually the problem is more in a stance leg than it is the swing leg, although the swing leg can be symptomatic on some people. So do it one more time for me. Roll in here, pressure between the fingers. There you go, and hold me down. And then how far can you get this knee? Can you hit me? Her cheeks are starting to go like this, so it's getting hard.
Yep.
There we go. Now, if originally you thought that, hey, why I'm supposed to be strengthening this hip, yeah, you can do that hip as well, just flip sides over. I find this works really well in a bed. You can go and sit up. This works really well in a bed because the bed gives great feedback of pushing down into it. I did this recently while I was watching TV in bed because I had a little bit of hip bursitis going on, and I thought, man, this is really hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys have questions about what's going on with your hip, we are always available. We have virtuals and in person, and we do have a webinar that we created up into the corner, one of the corners, I think that one. And it's going to pop up. It's free. It goes over hip diagnosis as well as bursitis, hip impingement, labral tears, cam deformities, like all these things that you probably randomly seen throughout YouTube or on Google. It consolidates them all, and we spend 30 minutes talking about which ones are most relevant and how you can get an idea of how to manage them too. So if you guys want help, reach out to us. Our link is in the description below, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.